Hey everyone, welcome to another Wednesday live stream. We're coming in today to talk about building consistent habits when it comes to creating your video content. So, welcome everyone. If you're here live, please let me know if you have any questions in regards to this particular topic. I will be keeping my eyes out on the comment section, but in the meantime, I'm going to get started because this is actually a topic I'm pretty excited to talk about today because this is definitely something that has been challenging for me for most of my time in creating content on a consistent or trying to be on a consistent basis for my audience. So I appreciate you all being here. And if you're watching this on the replay, please feel free to post your comments in the comment section so that I can respond to you. So first, let's just talk about the importance of consistency. Being consistent really is not exclusive to video creation. It is in reference to literally anything and everything that we do. It is vitally important that we are consistent if we want to see a result. And with video, it is even more so because in order for you to get, I shouldn't say it with video, it's even more than anything else because it depends on what the anything else is. Because I was consistent a number of years ago in changing how I ate, changing how I moved, and that enabled me to lose 70 pounds. That wouldn't have happened if I wasn't consistent. And that to me is more important than video creation. So I stand corrected. But essentially, in order for you to become successful when it comes to video marketing and using videos on YouTube, you need to be consistent because that then leads to you being able to grow, create that brand awareness, grow your business, and be able to engage with your ideal audience. And the longer you do it, and the more frequent you do it, the easier it's going to become for you. For a lot of people, it is a daunting task, but it is something that can become a lot easier the more that you do it. By being consistent, you can therefore establish a regular routine or a schedule on creating your content. Here is an example with me doing this today. I am consistently, since January 1st, coming in and doing a live stream every single Wednesday. And I'm doing it for anywhere from 20 minutes to 30 minutes to, if I talk too much, 40 minutes or longer. That is something that was a mission and a goal that I had at the beginning of the year. And I am consistently doing that because that was an area, doing live streams was an area where it was not my strong suit. It was something that I was somewhat uncomfortable doing, and I knew that it was something I needed to get past. And in order for me to get over something, you have to do it frequently to the point where it becomes second nature, to the point where you even are looking forward to it. In fact, when I was putting together today's notes, and you guys know that I use notes in order to stay sort of on top of things, I was really excited about it. I was like, this is going to be good because this is an area that was always a concern for me. It was something that I was not consistent on when I first started. When I first started my YouTube channel, I would, on a whim, okay, today I'm going to create a video. And then 2-3 weeks later, I'd be, oh, here's another idea. I'm going to create another video. So there was zero consistency. And I found being someone that had to live by a schedule and do things in order and very rigid, I found that very uncomfortable and it was a turnoff. So therefore, I chose not to do it. But with consistency, you develop not only the ability to adhere to a schedule, but you then cultivate a following where people are going to expect you, whether it's to go live or to release a video on a certain day out of each week, and therefore they're going to tune in. It also allows you, which is the reason why I'm doing live streams, to get better at the craft. For me, it's being able to be comfortable talking to a camera where I'm not sure if there's anybody on the other side of that, only if I look over to see that there might be a few of you on. But recognizing that for the most part, I'm talking to the replay viewer, and I'm okay with that. And overall, it's also improving my productivity. There is a certain way that I go through my month and my week in anticipation of my live streams. So it creates a structure that I wouldn't ordinarily have. And I used to poo poo on because I thought that it wasn't important and it just sort of stifled my creativity. And in fact, it doesn't. It actually does the opposite. And it makes me think differently and structure my live streams differently. And therefore, it just sort of makes things a lot easier for me as well as for the people that are going to be watching my content. One of the things that I did over this whole process of doing things on a consistent basis is it allowed me to create a process that was, for me, manageable. I used Trello in order to manage all of my anything that I have to create, whether it's that it's an email or live streams or work for my clients. And I was able to break it down into manageable bite-sized pieces. So basically my methodology goes like this. From an annual standpoint, I decided at the end of last year that I wanted to come in and do a weekly live stream. In order for me to do that weekly live stream, I thought it was best, and I am still doing this, to make my month's themes, to have a theme associated with the month, and then have the theme broken down into video topics based on the number of weeks. So if the month had 4 weeks, then it would be 4 topics. If it had 5 weeks, like this month, it would be 5 topics. And I used AI to help me really structure and organize what I was going to talk about and vary it from week to week. So that allowed me to get really honed in on what I wanted to talk about. And even though AI can give you very generic topics, you can always take those and delve a little bit deeper, or sort of give them a twist that's more suited to what your talking points are, which would be based on what it is that you ultimately want to market. So from that year standpoint, what are your goals in terms of what are the things that you want to promote? What are you going to be focused on this year? And then you try to make your monthly themes in sync with that, and therefore it just makes a little bit more sense in terms of the content that you're coming out and creating on a monthly basis. It also, for me, eliminated what was the biggest issue for me, which was procrastination. Like I told you before, the way that I used to create videos was I literally was winging it, and I'd be like, I don't know what I want to talk about. And so I would wait until it was, I got inspiration, or I would wait until the 11th hour before I started to do something. And that was not beneficial, because what it led to was content that was in this bucket over here. It just, I just had a wide variety of different types of content that I was creating, and it just didn't make any sense. So I want to share a quote with you, because this quote really succinctly, for me, sort of summed up why consistency was so important. It was a quote that Denzel said, I discovered back in like 2016, and I've used it ever since. And it reads, without commitment, you'll never start, but more importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish. So with video, it's the same thing. We have to be committed to get started. So we have to commit to the idea of, I'm going to do a live stream every single Wednesday, or I'm going to every single Monday or every single month do 4 videos each month, so that I can have those scheduled out for the next month, and I can consistently create custom videos for YouTube. Whatever your specific goal is, you definitely need to be able to commit to be able to, from there, you need to then be able to execute. And that's vitally important. So let's talk about a few things like our routines. And again, if you have any questions in reference to anything that I am sharing, please let me know. But in order for you to set up your routine, you really need to know how you're spending your time. And what I used to do is I time blocked on Google. And so with time blocking, I'm going to share my screen again so that you can see this. But with time blocking, I essentially just sort of blocked out all of the things that were personal, that I wasn't going to be doing any work for. And then I also wanted to make sure that I was time blocking appointments and things that I needed to do. And so that helped me create a schedule where I knew what days I wanted to do certain things. So on Mondays are what I call client project kickoff days. So that is usually if I'm going to have my first planning session with clients, that's when I'm going to start it. It's also a day for me to get client work done. Tuesdays are my content creation days. So those are the days that I will create the topics for all of my live streams, as well as the day that I will do the prep work the day before the actual live stream. So once a month, I will take the theme, break that theme down into 4 or 5 different video topics. They'll be in sort of an outline format. And then from there, I will every week, the day before I go live. Well, actually, I'll do this sometimes even before that. I will then itemize that outline and flesh it out and really make sure that I understand what it is that I want to share with my audience and sort of write it out in notes. I should actually have taken some notes out so that you could see what my notes look like. And if there are any other content creation type things that I need to do, I will do that on that day as well. On Wednesdays are my prospecting and networking days. So those are the days where I will either do a lot of consultation calls, well, not consultation, networking calls, or I'll actually attend networking events, as well as I'll go through my CRM and do any sort of prospecting, following up with potentials and things of that nature. Thursdays are client consultations, client meetings, client work. And then Fridays are designated for me to learn. I call it my study time. And so on those days, I am finish reading books. More often than not, the books that I'm reading, I listen to. And so I can do that when I walk every morning. But then there are books like right now, I just finished actually a really, really great book, which I may have shared with you already, called Oversubscribed by Daniel Priestley. And so that is a book that I listened to, as well as I went through and scribbled and flagged and made notes on. So that I will do on a Friday. But in addition to that, if I have purchased any sort of course, or if there is anything that I need to learn, a platform that I'm using, I try to keep up to date on all of the new AI video creation tools. So I will do those types of learning type things are designated for Fridays. But I'll throw in an occasional catching up with an old friend type colleague, meaning business friend, on Fridays as well. But what I knew was missing for me was the ability to have a clear understanding of what is it that I need to make sure that I'm spending my time effectively on. And that's when I came upon this tool. This tool is called Rise. I believe it's rise.io. Yes, that is the tool. And so what this does is this allows me to really analyze my working habits on a day-to-day basis, whether I'm in a meeting whether I am doing work for a client, whether I am live streaming, and it tracks all of that time for me so that I can have a clear understanding of where my time is being spent. This actually helps also in figuring out where you need to outsource if that's what you need to do. But one area where it has truly been impactful for me is in taking breaks. I actually realized when I got this tool that I wasn't taking the kinds of breaks that I needed to take. This forces you to take a break because it forces you to designate a specific length of time that you're going to work on a project. So if I say, okay, I'm going to work on this for an hour, immediately after that, it's asking you if you want to take a break. And so you then are able to put in your break, and you can vary your break in from 5 to however many minutes long, but it forces me to take a break, and it just gives me an overall understanding of how I'm spending my time, where I'm spending my time, how I need to get better at being more focused, and just building in really good habits. So I highly recommend it. If you didn't catch it, there is a free month. You can get it for free. You can go onto it and access it for free. But if you do choose to try it out, you can use the code that is on the ticker and you can get 1 month for free, just to test it out. And I highly recommend it because that's how I got introduced to it. I saw somebody talk about it. I tried it out for free and then ended up buying it, or signing up for it. So I highly, highly, highly recommend that you do that. So with that, I want to hear from you. What are some of the challenges that you may be experiencing when it comes to just being consistent? What are the issues that you face? You can post them in the comments. Unfortunately, I did not put up a question this week on a card. But if you are experiencing consistency issues, there is, for whatever reason, an inability on your part to be consistent, I want to hear what those are. So if you can paste them or put them in the comments and let me know what your issues are with being consistent with creating videos, being consistent with recording your videos. Obviously, for me, live streaming, it's pretty much a no-brainer how I'm recording them. But for those of you who don't do live streams and you're going to be opting to do pre-recorded, then batch recording is the option for you. And back when I used to do it, I think Wednesdays were my day for batch recording. So I would use one day out of the month would be for me figuring out what I was going to talk about, coming up with my 4 video topics for the month, and then writing my outlines. Or back when I was doing pre-recorded videos, I would actually write scripts. So I would do all of that on one day out of the month. And then the following week, I would then batch record everything. So I would make up my mind from morning until whenever I was going to be finished that I was going to record 4 videos. And then the following week, I then made sure that I was going to edit all of those videos. So I actually did more than 4 at a time. I would sometimes do 5 or 6. I would keep my videos to somewhere between 6 and 7 minutes in length. And back then I had my team that do my client videos. I had them do my videos for me. So I didn't have to worry about editing my videos. So I just needed to have a time frame where I could figure out what I was going to talk about and then film myself. And then I sent them off to my editors, and they had a faster turnaround than I could because I was trying to juggle doing my work, doing client work, and then editing my videos at the same time. Was not working. So that allowed me to be able to do the batch recording. Once I got the videos back, I then uploaded them and scheduled them on YouTube. So that is certainly an option for you if you are doing batch recordings. And again, it's, that can be done whether you're doing the long form videos or if you're doing short videos, if you're doing custom short videos, if you're repurposing your videos for social media, you can do all of these in batches and then schedule them out over a period of time on all of your various platforms. So that's it for today. I want to hear from you what your challenges are with being able to consistently create videos or consistently market your videos. Post those in the comments so that I can respond to you. And I'll probably do that next month, because next month's theme, I can tell you what the theme is. I don't remember exactly what each episode or each week is going to be about. It's called Back to Basics. So that, just think back to basics is the theme for August, sort of like back to school, back to basics. And so we'll go over a number of things, but one of them is going to be answering questions to any challenges that you've had. So the challenges don't necessarily have to pertain to consistency. It could pertain to creating videos. It could pertain to editing those videos. It could pertain to equipment issues, whatever your challenges are. Please let me know by submitting them either as an answer to this, or you can email me what those questions are so that I can answer them. And that'll probably be the last Wednesday of August. I will probably be doing the Q&A. Depends on how many questions I get and how quickly I get them. All right. So take care. Thanks as always for watching. I appreciate you being here live as well as being here on the replay. And I will see you next week. Take care.